Okay. I don't know what morality is. I have a pretty good idea of what it should be. The reason I don't know what morality currently is because I don't think there is a single definition of morality that everyone would attest to. The word has no single meaning. I believe that what it should be is a tool to guide people as individuals to live the most fulfilling and enjoyable life possible, while simultaneously being a tool for the collective population of the universe to ensure the maximum level of pleasure and fulfillment is experienced by all conscious entities. Well, it's used a lot of mumbo jumbo there, Oz. That'll fool some morons into thinking they know something. Like yourself. That's real great. Of course, the best version of this would offer a kind of lineage tree quiz format. That is not, of course, one that allows a person to find the advice most specific to them. Do you enjoy X? And depending on whether they answer yes or no, the overall advice would cater to this. I think the best way to think about this would be a kind of, you could have life recipes. Wow, how great's that? Life recipes. Oh yeah. I believe that the Quran is quite clearly an outdated text, and if taken literally has awful implications, and a nothing sentence anyway. However, I believe the vast majority of Muslims don't follow the Quran, even if they believe they do. Of course, the fact that they believe they are following the Quran means that they will be far more easily manipulated when shown the actual excerpts of the Quran that propagate the extremist ideology. Basically, I think good Muslims are good people, not on account of their following of the words of the Quran, and of course that goes for pretty much all religions, really. If you actually, this ties into something I'm about to say later. Anyway, we'll come back to that. More terrible advice from the anti-suicidalists. Paraphrasing it, they basically say, enjoy things. Enjoyment isn't telling yourself that you enjoy something. I know exactly what this entails. It requires you to repeat to yourself, I am enjoying this, until you kill enough brain cells to believe that maybe what you're feeling is enjoyment, or what you're feeling in quotation marks, and you just don't understand it. Enjoyment doesn't require you to label it. It is either felt or it is not felt. I imagine this society where instead of having actual money, everyone just has the same basically things cost a percentage of your income. So for someone with a lot of money, the Apple costs 0.00005% of a person's income. Well, actually it costs the same for everyone, but because it's a percentage, it costs more to the richer person. And it's like, and then I realised that it's quite a dystopic communist thing. Just look like maybe a film or a book. Someone could write a film or a book about it, like a little film or a book or something. We live in a society where people don't want to commit suicide, but are far less concerned about where people don't want people to commit suicide, but are far less concerned about not wanting people to want to commit suicide. Presumably the assumption is that we should stop them from committing suicide and then work on their desire to do it afterwards. But I feel once the first step is achieved, the second is forgotten about. So essentially we just have a bunch of people walking around who all want to commit suicide, and then as soon as they tried, people stopped them, so now they're just in this perpetual kind of, it's like a living limbo. Yeah. Okay. I think even announcing or believing yourself to be right or left wing is a form of identity politics. Once you submit to being one of the many of that faction, you're inclined to accept ideologues that you would otherwise question. I don't really know what the word ideologues mean, but I guess it's just basically ideologies. And yeah. The underlying reason is probably born of fear of being expelled from the group. Ultimately, as soon as you identify as a member of... Well, just have to see if that impacted the recording there. I'll just assume you're at... Yeah, the underlying reason is probably born of fear of being expelled from the group. Ultimately, as soon as you identify as a member of any group, you adopt many of their beliefs. without taking the time to personally assess their validity. So really, what I'm saying is you should never, once you have people commit to being, so I guess the ones that are most prevalent at the current moment are the social justice warriors, and I imagine the people you join that group with good intentions, and then you just, for fear of being ridiculed for not holding the same opinion, you kind of take on the ones which really you wouldn't, because if you fear that if you didn't take them on, you would no longer be a social justice warrior. And then it goes to mundane things, just like being right or left wing. You might start out as a budding young person who's really, pro freedom of speech or whatever. I don't know whether that's pro America. I don't know enough about these things to talk about them, but you get the point, don't you? You basically you become part of a mob, and you just start being less of you. You lose part of yourself, and you don't want to do that really. So what I'm saying is just be you, be your own group. That was about 25 different accents in one there, so really, it's quite impressive. Okay. Oh yeah, it was like, oh fuck, did I ever get back to the thing? Oh, so that was the thing that was tying into the Quran speech I had earlier, that I also said applies to all religions. So really, think about religion, so you might just join religion. Let's take Christianity. I guess you say, oh, Jesus guy, pretty nice guy. Love thy neighbour. Oh, bloody well. Can't go wrong with that. But then also, you might say, oh, I'm a Christian, and then someone might go, well, if you're a real bloody Christian, hey, look at this. You see those couple guys over there? They're having gay sex. Jesus don't like that. No, thank you, sir. Well, actually, Jesus might be alright with it, but there are some other parts of the Bible where they're not so alright with it. Yeah, less than alright, I'd say. I'd define it as anti-alright. Anyway, and then something else I've realised recently is I just despise the fact that why are autobiographies always so afraid to talk about, the death part? I get that, you're meant to celebrate the whole living part, but why don't they ever write about their deaths? Oh, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. Alright then, we've had a great time this time. We'll have to see if we actually recorded, won't we? Okay. Alright, ta-ra. Bye now.